Hi, Divine Rebels, Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings, and we are going to do another pick a card reading today. This reading is going to be about the underlying truths of the situation. That's kind of a pun, right? Underlying truths. What's under the lies? Underneath, finding the truth, okay? Under rug swept. So we have 4 different options here. The decks will be linked down below. We are using the the Melanated Classic Tarot, which we unboxed and used for live reads. Hey! We also have the Sacred Symbols Oracle that we will be using as well. And this is I think this is first edition. Yeah, I think this is first edition. So we have slate here, a piece of slate to my remembrance. We have Merlinite. We have this beautiful seashell. And we have Opalite. All right, so 1 is slate, 2 is Merlinite, 3 is the seashell, and 4 is Opalite. So go ahead and pick your choice, and we will be down in it's late, y'all. I'm tired. I've done an hour and a half of lives. We've had multiple videos posted today, personals, mama duties, all that kind of stuff. I was reading right now the Two Old Women book, and I was like, I need to go and post another reading. I need to get that done. It just the energy felt right. So here I am, but forgive me if I stumble a little bit on my words. Gemini season has already had me tongue-tied as it is. You already know. All right, so down below is where you will see your timestamps, and I will see you on your timestamp right now as you jump ahead, okay? Let's get into this reading. Setting these to the side. Clearing the space for number 1. Number 1, those of you that chose slate, what are the underlying truths? We have the Tower reversed. Oop, switch that ring. There we go. We have the 3 of Wands reversed. And we have the Power card. Ooh. So in your situation, power is the underlying thing that is making the motives happen, whatever is going on. It is the underlying motive. It is the root chakra, and the solar plexus chakras are what are kind of fighting head to head, like a ram and a bull. Could be Taurus and Aries that are there. Could be Leo, and could be Aries. Okay, yeah, so what I'm seeing here is that basically underneath, I think a person's really struggling with power issues. It could come from the fact that they've always been in survival mode. They've maybe never really had any friends. They haven't been able to sync up kind of with their people, you know what I mean? Whether that's literally culturally having been ostracized, or maybe adopted and raised away from the people you feel that you belong to, or that you are, you know, like your race, your spiritual identity, all that kind of stuff. Or it could be just in general, never ever feeling like this person feels like they've never really kind of synced up with others and been on the same path with people who understand them. Maybe they can see from a distance what that scene is, but they've never been able to express it themselves, right? So this also can show maybe at the in their origins, this person was very, very unstable. Like they didn't have a lot of stability, and like I'm hearing closure. Like they didn't have closure about a lot of their relationships. They might not have understood why they moved all the time, why kind of bad situations happen. It's like they narrowly escaped, they got out of those situations a lot, but perhaps this person had to move a lot, and maybe it was kind of hushed over or made like it wasn't as bad as it was, to like semi protect them as a child, but it was pretty rough. So I feel like this person has had like a lot of dangerous or kind of violent power struggle situations in their life a lot, and it's been just enough that they can kind of convince themselves that it didn't happen, or like bullying, that they can just convince themselves that it didn't happen, but it did. And so underneath, I'm also seeing Scorpio energy. This person has a lot of issues when it comes to power. They might they definitely don't have it figured out, so they might go to different lengths. At one moment be like almost like a doormat to people, be very subservient, not know how to stake kind of their claim their territory, really speak up for their own needs and wants. And they could also, at the other side, go to try to grab that power and do a power play all of a sudden. And you're like, whoa, what the hell? Like, they just get fed up all of a sudden, and they can ride roughshod over people. So either aspects of that spectrum could be what's going on. Because whenever we have an energy that we're unbalanced with, that we are, at once wanting to overcome, but at the same time afraid of, or have been very misused under, we can go to either sides of those extremes, right? Some people that get bullied become huge bullies themselves, and then there's a lot of people who become advocates, or they become very empathetic. They say like the children of toxic parents, and like the emotionally abusive parents and the narcissists and stuff usually become very empathetic a lot of times, because they have to, it's literally a defense mechanism, horrifically enough, but they have to, in order to handle that situation, to try to have the emotional understanding, so they can foresee others' needs to ensure their survival, right? And to try to caretake those parents. So I feel like you have a person that has a lot of those similar qualities. They definitely could have Pluto or Mars on their moon, or even their sun. They also could have moon in Aries or Scorpio. They could also have a very badly aspected Leo moon. Could also have Scorpio, Aries, or Leo Mars. This could be you, but since we're looking behind the truth of the situation, I'm just phrasing it as this person. So depending on how you ask the question, if it's for yourself or another, you can see how it applies in your particular situation. So the thing that needs to happen in this situation, a little advice to handle this truth. If you are dealing with someone who's going through this, it's just going to be a really tough ride. I would definitely make your boundaries explicitly clear. And if you feel like you need to, like the situation needs to end, you're going to have to be the one to end it. This person doesn't know how to have positive endings. They don't know how to, like, for instance, they might not be used to like amicable breakups. So if this is like your partner or your child's other parent or something, this person probably hasn't had a lot of good examples about how you can go your separate ways but still be very peaceful with each other. They don't really understand that. In their life, a lot of times shit just hit the fan. Someone tried to take the power. There was a clear winner, a clear loser. There was somebody who was the strong one and the other person who was weak, and it's like very much set up into those dynamics. So to let this person kind of decide how the outcome of the situation is really isn't that good. So you might have to really just finally be the one to go out the door. Now remember, how they show this power struggle might not be the strong, violent way. It could be the way where they play the victim in it, but they're pulling all of the strings, and they need that role to be filled then of the person who's the aggressive abuser. So you have to see what side of this you're on, because we do have reversals here. Now, if this is a question for yourself, or the underlying truth of how you're operating within a situation, then this is really pulling up some deep stuff. And so it's asking you to look at your own issues with power, your own fears of power, how you might do some manipulative power plays within your relationships to gain control of the situation, and where that comes from, the fears and the stigmas that you have within. that have you steering the relationship in a certain way, but you might not be, aware of your own behaviors as far as your inner motive. So it's good that you check with the reading for your, kind of inner truths underneath the surface of things. Yeah, so I would definitely get safe. I would definitely cut this energy off, as immediately, and get yourself to a safe situation, and really not go back and forth with this person or in and out, because this person they'll just continue this cycle because that's what they're living in. And it doesn't always mean, some of you aren't dealing with a horrific person, this is just their traumas. Some of you are dealing with straight up abusers, so please just take it in stride with your own relationship, and that's just something that you'll have to be honest with yourself, since this is a general reading. Of course, we can go into more in personal readings, but for this being a general reading, just make sure that you're being respected and that you have your own strong boundaries, and that you are, around people who take care of you and help you, have your back, because it can get confusing when we get close in relationships with people that we love. So I hope you have strong loved ones around you who are helping you kind of holding space for you, I guess, as you sort these things out. All right, so those are the underlying issues for number 1. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching. Okay, for those of you who chose number 2, which is the Merlinite, what is the underlying cause, the underlying truth? We have the Ace of Wands, we have the 5 of Cups reversed, and we have friendship. All right, so I see a few different storylines of truths that are coming up with this one. Some of you are wondering, okay, what's the real truth? What's their relationship like? What's the real tea? They say he just a friend. And you about to come in there clubbing, all right? And not the music kind of club. For a lot of people, it's like, yeah, they're friends. There could have been some emotional connection. Maybe they desired this person at a certain point and it was never fulfilled. There is some attraction that is there now, but I do not see it acted upon. So I think this person might. So literally for this group, I just keep hearing Just a Friend by Mario being played over and over. So I feel like there is the underlying truth here. There is friendship that's there, whether that, if someone's been trying to discount that or not. But I do feel like there could be someone that feels friend zoned and they're trying to knock on that door and beat through that door. Look, I'm hearing some crude language like beat it up. And definitely also I'm picking up that certain situations are very much an Alicia Keys Swiss Beats situation, where you think that person is a friend and they're really not. There's other reasons why they're coming to the baby shower, okay, and it's to get their husband or get their partner. So I do feel like there's a very tough dynamic for others, because we have this 5 of Cups reversed. Something about this friendship of these people has caused there to not be a full sense of trust. Maybe for you, you want this person to be a friend, but you always feel that they have a different desire underneath. Maybe you have the big desire for this person and they're always throwing up the friendship link and you're not really feeling that. All right, it could be, I'm definitely getting a lot of people where you're checking up on your partner and their relationship with someone else, and it's like, yeah, they're friends, but they definitely could have that chemistry to them that were they both single, they would see where it would go. Or there could be some kind of talking that's a little bit more than friendly because of this chemistry that they have, and this could have bred some feelings of insecurity and stuff in the past. Or maybe they did date in the past and you're not comfortable that, some people you're like, well, they slept together and now they're friends. So these are all like kind of very, very complex dynamics, but I feel like for the people involved, it feels very simple. It's like, yeah, okay, so that's there and we're friends. Like, what's the big deal? Now, if they're single, that's another thing. They might be ready to get that going. And again, in a few situations, if it's a person that's coming into your guys' relationship, they could be like, okay, I'll play this friend card until I need to write it out and then see what it was good if I can get in there. I definitely can see that. I'm seeing a lot of Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Aries energy. There could also be some Pisces, Gemini, Scorpio, but I feel like those might be kind of on the feeling like the losing side of the situation. Some Pisces and Gemini, definitely the Scorpios probably aren't doing so well in these little triangles going on. Now, in like family dynamics, you might be having a hard time because these people are pretty buddy buddy. Like that's the energy, is buddy buddy. Or like in the workplace, it's kind of like people who are friends even though they should be calling each other out, and they shouldn't really like each other, or they should be like, you know, maybe they should be having your back morally or something, but instead they're being friendly with this person and basically kind of co-signing each other's bullshit. There's a lot of that going on with this dynamic underneath. So it could be difficult for them to really, you know, be on your side about something. This happens to me with fire signs, right? I'm all water dominant, and then I have fire next element. But sometimes when I'm friends with fire signs, or, you know, relatives or whatever, I would want them to be sympathetic when a fire sign was being an asshole to me, and they would be like, well, yeah, I guess so, but you know, I can see what they're saying though, because I do the same thing. So, and I'm like, you're just gonna let them off because you would do the same thing, or you could see how if you did do the same thing, you wouldn't want to get in trouble for it. Like, that's some BS. And you know, air signs will do that a lot too. Well, you know, I mean, are they really being two-faced? But because I can see, you know, sometimes I do, and I'm like, you wrong too. You wrong, right? So I definitely see some fire air friendships that you might be like, man, like that's the dynamic. If you're having a hard time getting into another group of people or friends, even if you feel like, well, they should be my bestie, or they should have loyalty to me, or I'm a better worker, they have a different kind of chemistry. And it really doesn't matter if you're like, oh, look, ta-da, this person's a bad person or whatever. They just have a camaraderie there. So it's like you can go and wave the red flag all you want. People aren't really going to listen to it because they're not, this isn't the Ace of Swords. They're not necessarily about listening to truth. It's more like, yeah, we know they're like that. We know they're jerks sometimes, but I mean, that's still homie right there. And that's just kind of the dynamic that's going on, even though it kind of crashes and burns people around them sometimes. All right. So there's some underlying truth for this situation for you guys. I hope that was helpful for you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and let me know what you think. All right, number twos. Talk to you soon. All right, number threes. We have the Seashell. Yes. What are some underlying truths of your situation? We have the Nine of Swords reversed, and we have the Queen of Cups reversed, or upright, sorry. And we have knowledge. Ooh, we have the Queen of Wands over here on the High Priestess tip with the knowledge, and the Nine of Swords. You know what? I feel like this person is going into their glow up, right? They're trying to, you know what, I ain't gonna worry about this anymore. You know what? This is when Aries bounce back, right? I always say about every maybe 9 to 12 months, Aries will have this crash, this breakdown where they feel really guilty for all the horrible things they've done, where they doubt themselves, where they feel a little bit sad. Maybe they had a breakup, or you know, they haven't been having their creative outlets or something, but then when they come out of that, forget about it. Aries has one of the strongest glow up games in the zodiac, Aries and Leo, and that's the energy right here. New person, who this, like everything will be on point. And in those crashes, Aries really do go and search out knowledge. Like, they'll know everything from quantum physics to creativity to ancient history. Like, Aries are amazing that way. Don't sleep on them when it comes to their knowledge, their spiritual game, their creative game. And so that's what I'm seeing as a similar energy here with this person. Is like, you know, they've gone through a lot. They might have really felt embarrassed and had some stuff blow up in their face. You know, they might come off like really even like people might be like, oh, they're arrogant, they're egoic, they're you know, all about themselves, whatever, how many selfies you gotta take. But it's like, you don't know what it took for this person to get to this point, to have some confidence, to work through having self-love. I remember when I was learning the Aries in my chart, because I mean, that wasn't too many years ago. It took me a long time to have to step into that energy. I was really alone at that time. I had no family or friends or anything. And, you know, I was in college and in the dorms. And I remember we'd go out places and I would take like selfies. And it was before, like, I think selfie was really like a thing, like a word. I don't even think we was calling them selfies right then. Like just when it was happening, right? Just when all the two ways and all that were out, just when touch screen phones were coming out. And I remember them being like, this one dude who liked me but obviously felt insecure that I took pictures of myself was trying to say something smart like, oh, you're always taking pictures of yourself. And then me being a Pisces, I had a very gentle reason for it. I was like, well, I don't have any friends or family around me right now. Like if I don't try to capture, you know, moments of my happiness and make, you know, kind of the arts of my moments, like who's going to do that? And then he felt stupid as hell. And he was a Leo, right? So he was feeling all insecure. And I was like, I had a completely different reason. And this is the Pisces on the cusp of Aries card. So some of you, like, you might be judging someone really hard and you don't know why they're kind of stunting on themselves that way. You don't know what it took for them to claim the space that they have, to have self-love, to believe that they have like deserve good things, to try to show up in the places that they show up. Maybe they've always been kind of cast out, or I'm thinking of like Tiffany Haddish, Sagittarius, another fire energy. Like she came from so much. So if you didn't know her backstory and you just saw her somewhere, people, of course people would judge her. Oh, why is she loud? Why is she acting like this? You know, she seems to, she could even come off entitled, right? Or arrogant, but she's not. She's just having joy and like just being herself and thriving. It took her so much to get there, what she came through. So I feel like in this situation, there might be a person that's being very misjudged. Now that doesn't mean that they're always nice. They might not care about your opinion. That don't mean that make they're wrong. That doesn't mean that they're wrong, right? Sometimes it's like that. Like a person could be an amazing person, but just because they don't want you in their circle, just because they don't care if you're their fan or not, doesn't mean that they're a jerk. They, you know, I feel like this person has very limited emotional, mental space, energetic space that they have left to be given people, because their energy that they give off just from their presence, just from their pictures, just from their art and doing what they do, like that's enough. How much more does this person have to give out to everyone? I feel like this is a person who has been very expended by others, very maybe fetishized by others, you know, very misused. And so this person is starting to have wisdom about the worth of what they of their talents, their gifts, their looks. And instead of beating themselves up at night anymore, they're like, oh, that's it, I'm taking ownership of myself, and if others don't like it, oh well, they can clear out, you know, done with it. So, you know, this could be someone, depending on how you're button up heads, and if you guys are kind of trying to take up the same space, I could definitely see, look at the lions in the back. You could go, you know, end up going head to head with them, but it might be a case where you might actually learn from this person and see how much you're very similar. You might understand, or maybe if they don't do it exactly how you would do it, they might be in your life, kind of what Leos do. They show up in your life to remind you to like have some grit behind your self-love, like level up your self-love. Like if you don't do it, the world's not going to stop for you. And Leos really remind you that. And sometimes, you know, people are so busy being intimidated by Leo and hating on them that they don't realize that no, Leo wants everyone to level up their game too. They're just not going to stop their shine, you know, because you feel bad about yourself. And so this person could really be coming into your life to teach you that, whether you're receiving it or not, whether or not they're always doing it in what you see as the best way. Now, being a very sensitive Pisces, I can tell you, I did not like, I thought, you know, pretty negatively on Aries energy for a long time because I didn't understand it. You know, the anger, the frustration, the competition for seemingly no reason. And now I've seen so many beautiful, truthful, honest, passionate, loving sides of those energies, right? The warrior, the pioneering, being the entrepreneur, the anger that will, you know, stand up against violence and hatred. Like there's so many good tools within fire energy. And so there could definitely be some misunderstandings with this person. Yeah, so it's like as much as they're an open book, you might not be reading the knowledge, right? You might read in between the lines, seeing, knowing their backstory and what's really there. So even if, you know, you guys are coming up and this person is like seen as the other party in the relationships, or your competitor, like, I don't think they really see you that way. They're just on their path for what they want, dealing with the situations and people that are directly in front of them. And they're not going to let themselves be beaten down or be made to lose or be treated subpar by anyone. And if anyone comes to them that way, they're going to blow up and they're going to handle that and squash it. Other than that, they're just focused on their goals and moving ahead in life and trying to find, you know, just trying to thrive, just trying to get out of existing in survival and find a way to thrive, I think is their thing. Yeah, so that's what I'm picking up pretty strongly and cohesively for the underlying truths of this situation. It could be good to know. Sometimes we don't want to hear that people maybe that you're seeing as your enemy might not be as bad as we think in certain ways. Maybe this could also explain, you know, if you've been intimidated by someone that you got a crush on, or a family member, you're like, what's going on? I think that they're just in the middle of glowing up in their own way and finding themselves, and they're just clearing out space to do so. Ooh, I had to take a drink. Okay. So that's what I see for you, number 3. I hope that you power up as well. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Comment if you like this deck down below too. This is the new deck we unboxed. And I'll talk to you soon. My tongue's getting a little tired over here. Okay, for those of you who chose number 4 with the Opalite, let's see what we got here. What underlying truth can we reveal here? We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And we have the Soulmate card. All right. I see something not working out with the soulmate. And I'm seeing someone tired of waiting for a soulmate. So I'm already getting several different things being told to me. All right. Some of you, you're going to be at the point right now where you're like, you know what? I'm tired of investing, trying to track this soulmate down. They were supposed to be in Bora Bora. I flew to Bora Bora. Where were they? They were supposed to be in Jamaica. I flew to Jamaica. Where were they? Shoot. Then I went to Ireland. Man, like, I'm tired of investing in this soulmate. Like, I was supposed to wear purple that one Tuesday. I wore purple. Where were they? Like, I'm tired of it. And so this is like, no, that's okay. That's okay if you're ready to move on and not keep, you know, Spirit isn't asking you to stay in a place of stagnancy in order to try to sync up with a soulmate, because that's not how soulmates work. Usually soulmates, we miss them when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, when we're inactive, or we're distracting ourselves with not growing how we should in our life, or not doing our best gifts and talents and soul and career paths and all that kind of stuff. We don't miss them when we're like, it's not because, oh, we've actually made moves in life, now I miss them. No, that's exactly how you find them. So some of you, it's like you have to start investing in your actual life, you know, kind of putting down roots, letting yourself be a full person, investing in yourself, you know, taking care of your health, your finances, all of that, in order to have the soulmate come in. Because, I mean, think about it. If our soulmate wants the best for us on a spiritual plane, why would they say, oh yeah, sit there and don't do anything in your life, and when you're on some bullshit, then I'm gonna come through? Not if they're this higher level amazing soulmate. They're gonna be like, you better have your life together, you better be on your stuff. Like, what? No, you better be taking care of yourself. And that's what you need to do to have me come in, because that's what they're gonna want for you. All right, some of you are really young and you're already thinking of giving up. I think it's okay to let go of kind of the theology, the ideology of the soulmate, and just allow yourself to experience. I'm seeing some people who are very young. They're like, yes, that's absolutely okay. You don't have to feel like you're married away to one person your whole life. We have many soulmates. We have different levels and rankings, and what is for everyone, what is for one person isn't for everyone, right? Everyone is not even wanting this twin flame thing that's out here that is like trending or whatever, soulmate wise. Everyone's not wanting the same kind of, you know, soulmate from the same lifetimes, the same realms, the same goals with that soulmate. All right, so I'm seeing like letting go. The Seven of Pentacles is when we invest in something and then we evaluate, was it worth it? With the Page of Pentacles reverse and the Seven of Pentacles reverse, it's saying it isn't worth it. So some of you, that is kind of your method of manifesting your soulmate. And for some of you, this is actually building with someone that you really have been convincing yourself, maybe for a solid year, maybe for some of you, I'm hearing 13 years since you were young. It's you've given it time. How much more time can it have? It's saying it's not an investment. I'm seeing a lot of you, especially like 7 to 13 years. It's like, you know what it is at this point, right? You've done all the ins and outs with this person. Yes, they might be your soulmate, but you can't be wasting this life, this body, this existence right now. You can't sit there and constantly always be, never having security, never being safe, never building. Real soulmates and a healthy connection, they thrive together. You can't help but thrive when you have someone who's truly loving you in a good way. You're building each other up. All these kind of things that I see where it's like abusive, there's kids involved, no one cares, the kids are getting lost in the situation, it's toxic. Oh, I'm gonna make them leave the other kids, I'm gonna make the other, there's 7 parties involved. Like, that's not a healthy soulmate relationship. And we have, most of us have at least several soulmates, even in the romantic sense. If you go beyond the romantic sense, we have a ton more other soulmates that, maybe we've even married them or something before, but usually they're like, family or friends. There's so many different types of soulmates. So yes, a lot of us want that big, great one that we've been married to 1,000 lifetimes, if we've been around that long, whatever. But this is like, some of you got kids to think about. Some of you got it's like, come on, do you even have any savings? Do you even own anything besides what you keep purposely investing in this situation so you can have an excuse to still be entangled with this toxic person? Like, are you over here trying to have a person with this kid just to try to make that soulmate stay around? Like, there's some big questionable, is with telling the truth, the underlying truths, there's some big questionable motives when it comes to those of you who are sticking in a so-called, it's so-called in the way that it's not a healthy soulmate relationship. Yes, there's a soul connection there, but it's kind of like, oh, so-called, right? Like, okay, you're supposed to be married. Where's your so-called spouse that ain't been home in 3 months, that out here messing around? You're spending all your energy convincing all the rest of us. Like, they're the ones you need to convince, right? So it's kind of being a little cheeky here, and it's saying like, it's about enough of that. It's about enough of that. The young ones who are involved deserve way better. They're definitely suffering under this. And just for you, your health is like wasting years. It's like, you're not going to be, you ain't going to be 45 forever. Come on now, right? How many years are you going to waste? How many years are you going to waste in this situation? Yeah. And that includes those of you who are on the side literally on the side waiting. Well, they said when their kids get out of college, then they'll divorce and this and that. Well, you better go and have some fun until their kids get out of college, right? So there's just a lot of excuses for waiting around in relationships that are not healthy. So it's like, that's going to be your cue. That's the biggest truth they're saying. Your earth realm is going to thrive when you are with your healthy soulmate. Period. So going and chasing ideals just for suffering doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's not what the spirit world wants for you or for other people. And again, I feel like some people are going to try and like project this. Oh yeah, they're so miserable in the relationship they're in. That's why they should break up and be with me. Okay, you're the person on the side waiting then. That's not having the relationship. So invest in your life. Let go of all that energy, emotional entanglement, spiritual energy. Invest in yourself right now. And if that happens, I think people don't understand like letting it go, like let it energetically go, let them handle their shit, make it their responsibility to handle it. Close that door, drop that energy. Oh, soulmate, you're gonna handle that before you come over here. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, separate energy. All right. and let go of that control thing, because then it's just more of an obsession that's never really planting. Like this Page of Pentacles is just obsessing over this pentacle that it once planted. And it's like nothing can grow. Like this is not, we don't have gravity resistant. This isn't Harry Potter. Like how can this grow in an upside down world? Like it doesn't make sense. The seeds are gonna fall right out of the earth, right? Yes. Some of you, just the focusing and wanting a soulmate has been distracting from like your business. It's been literally pulling energy away from manifesting. Could be what's held up having children. You know, if you've been chasing the wrong partners. I definitely have seen that sometimes, where a person, I had a friend like that, and every psychic she ever met would tell her, you have the spirit of a child who's waiting to be born around you. It had been like years, and she was actually like, you know, one of those who was like, what is it called, baby fever crazy, like real bad. Like she would, like at that point, like anyone she hooked up at the club, she don't care, she just needed to be inseminated, right? And it's probably because the spirit was around her. But the spirit would literally say, I would channel and I'd do readings with the cards for her, and that spirit was so stubborn. It was like, until you find the right father for me, no, I'm not coming in. You need to get your relationship stuff straight. This person was Venus and Aries, right, in the 5th house. So they really wanted a child, but they were out there playing too much, right? And they would go and they came back and told me, oh, this other psychic told me the same thing you said, that this spirit, this baby said they're not going to be born till I get my stuff together and, you know, find a right, healthy partner. Now, some kids' spirits ain't going to wait like that. But it's that kind of thing. So for those of you who that's been an issue, you're like, oh, why is this not happening for me? Either you have major things to work out with your partner that are being ignored, or those of you just haven't synced up with that right partner yet. And it's like, no, we're not going to give you more to worry about in the physical realm if you can't be in healthy relationships first. You know, and that's why if you're feeling a little behind everyone else, it's like, well, first you gotta be in a healthy relationship. First, you gotta be healthy yourself, okay? Because in some ways, you might be very young, or this other person, if you're reading on the partner or something, could be very young and kind of stunted when it comes to like personal responsibility and adulting and doing the actual work that it takes to be in a relationship. You know, really taking responsibility that you reap what you sow, kind of thing. All those kind of factors could be big concerns here. All right. I'm also seeing people, again, there's that energy that some people are not being focused enough about the kids and about college, like making sure that kids have savings, making sure that you can put kids through to the trades and gifts and talents that they have, that there's futures built up, and not just like, oh, the partnership, the parentship is all what's important. You know, kind of on that Libra stuff. I've heard a lot of Libras say that, oh no, this is number one objective, right? And then the Cancerian people will be more likely to put the kids first, kind of thing, a lot of times. So there needs to be more balance in the home and in the family life planning for those of you who are, you know, having children involved in your family plan, your life plan, to be more balanced with that. Okay, just a moment. Yeah. All right, and I'm just hearing that this will probably sit with you, and you'll have a little bit more energy revealed to you. Yeah, there'll be more layers to this that will be revealed, is what I'm hearing for you guys. So, all right, so there you go. There's the underlying truths of the situation. This is, you know, those deep medicines once again that came through. This was the reading that wanted to come through for the little quick 3-card reading. So I hope that it was able to give you some help in some ways, insight that you needed, and that you can let sink in and apply to make your life better, and, you know, to thrive and have some healthy goals and stuff. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.